The aim of the practical is to carry out the determination of dissociation constant of a weak acid like acetic acid pH metrically. So basically in this practical, we will be titrating unknown concentration of acetic acid against zero point 0.1 normal NaOH. And during the course of the titration, you have to find out the pH values. And with the help of the range of the pH values, you have to draw a graph. And with the help of the graph, you can easily determine the dissociation constant value. Now, dissociation constant of any of the acid is a quantitative measure of the strength of the acid in a solution, right? So, dissociation constant basically defines the strength of an acid. So, if the dissociation constant value, which is Ka, if it is more, then the acid would be able to dissociate more and it would be a stronger acid. But if the dissociation constant value Ka is lesser, then the acid would be a weak acid. Now over here, the dissociation constant of acetic acid at 25 degrees Celsius is 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 5. So you can see that the dissociation constant value, that is Ka, is in 10 raised to minus 5 and it is very less. So the acid would be weak acid, right? And we know that acetic acid is a weak acid. Okay. Now, this dissociation constant value would be constant at a constant temperature. So for acetic acid, the dissociation constant value at 25 degrees Celsius would be 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 5. So with this change in temperature, there would be slight variation in the dissociation constant value as well. So over here, when you titrate acetic acid against NaOH, sodium acetate would be formed, which is a salt plus H2O. Okay, now basically for this practical, you can take 50 ml of X normal acetic acid in a beaker. Okay, then you have to use the glass electrode in order to find out the pH values, right? So into the solution, just deep the glass membrane electrode. Okay, in the burette you have to fill 0.1 normal NaOH. Okay, so basically in this practical there would be two parts. First would be the pilot set, second would be the micro set. So let us see what has to be done in the pilot set. So in the pilot set, as I told you, first of all, take 50 ml of X normal acetic acid, right? And before the addition of the NaOH, initially find out the pH of this acetic acid, and suppose say it is 2.91. Okay, so you have to note down that at 0 ml addition of NaOH, then you have to add 1 ml of 0.1 normal NaOH, and during the entire course of titration you have to find out the pH values. Okay, and even you need to find out the delta pH, which is the difference in the pH values. Then you have to observe delta pH carefully, and you have to see that where the maximum difference has been obtained in the pH values. So over here you can see that the maximum value is 2.44. So over here, if you observe these two values, 4.94 and 7.38, then there is a major difference in the pH values, and that difference is very higher. So you have obtained your jump at 6 ml. Okay, and you have to take the micro readings between 5 to 6 ml, because the maximum difference in the pH is observed between 5 to 6 ml. So you can say that the equivalence point has been achieved between 5 to 6. Okay, over here acetic acid is a monoprotic acid and it is having one proton which could be dissociated, right? So that's why you will be getting only one equivalence point. Now from this table, that is the pilot set table, you have to draw a graph of pH versus volume of the titrant which is being added. Okay, so pH values versus the volume of the NaOH which is being added, you have to draw that graph. So you will be getting a sigmoidal shaped curve. Okay, you can see that it is a sigmoidal shaped curve. Initially the pH would be very lesser, right? It would be around 3. You can see over here 2.91. okay, and then as you start adding NaOH, the neutralization would start and the pH would gradually increase, and then you will be able to see a proper pH break. Okay, so your equivalence point would be somewhere here. I mean, over here that is a pH break, so this would be your equivalence point, which would be between 5 to 6. Okay, so you have to draw this graph. You will be getting a sigmoidal shape curve. Then you need to move on to the microset. So for the microset, again, you have to take 50 ml of X normal acetic acid in a beaker. Initially, before the addition of the NaOH, you have to find out the pH value, write it down. Okay, then you have to further find out the delta pH values also, delta V, and then delta pH upon delta V. Okay, now you have to add 1 ml of NaOH, and you have to determine the pH values up till 5 ml. Then you have to take micro readings from 5 to 6 ml. So then at the interval of 0.11 ml of the NaOH, you have to find out the pH values. And then after the 6 ml, you have to add 1 ml and you have to find out the pH values. Okay, and with the help of this pH values, you can easily determine delta pH, and delta V is the difference in the volume of the NaOH which is being added. Okay, and delta pH upon delta V is this values upon this values. Okay, so once you have done so, after that you need to draw a graph of delta pH upon delta V versus the volume of the NaOH which is being added. So in this you will be getting a peak. Okay, the maximum reading you will be getting over here, right? You can clearly observe this delta pH upon delta V. If you observe all of these values, then the maximum is 9.2. Okay, basically we know that from the pilot set we got to know that the equivalence point would be between 5 to 6. So you have to check the values between 5 to 6. Where have you got the maximum change in the pH? So maximum change in the pH is at 6 ml. That is, the difference in the pH is between 5.9 to 6. All right, this is the maximum difference, that is 6.44 and 7.36. You can see that the difference is maximum between these two values. All right, so 9.2 is the maximum difference which we are getting. Okay, if you observe the values from 5.1 to 5 to 6 ml, right? So over here the maximum reading would be 9.2 in the graph, right? And from there you need to draw a straight line. Whatever VML what you get would be equal to the equivalence point, right? And from the table also you can easily get to know that the equivalence point is at 6 ml. Okay, and over here also from the graph also you will be getting V equals to 6 ml. Okay, so once that is being done, we have to do the calculation in order to determine the dissociation constant of the acetic acid. Now you all might be knowing what is Henderson's equation, that is pH equals to pK plus log salt upon acid. So carefully look into this equation and you need to think that when pH would be equal to pK. Okay, pH would be equal to pK when this term would be equal to 0, that is log salt upon acid. Now think that when this term would be 0. Okay, it would be 0 when the concentration of salt and concentration of the acid would be equal. Okay, because when the concentration of salt and acid would be equal, at that time the concentration would get cut. So it would be log 1 and log 1 is 0. And at that time pH would be equal to pK. So now let us see that when the concentration of the salt and the concentration of the acid would be equal. So over here acid is the acetic acid, salt is sodium acetate. Okay, so you need to think that when the concentration of both of this would be equal during the course of the titration. So we know that at the equivalence point, okay, at 6 ml, all of the acetic acid which is there in the solution would be titrated against NaOH and it would be converted to sodium acetate. Okay, so neutralization would be completed, right? So further there would be no acetic acid, there would be only the salt, right? But if we consider half neutralization, okay, only half of the amount of acetic acid has been neutralized and it has been converted into salt, that at that time the concentration of acid as well as the concentration of salt would be same in the solution, because only half of the neutralization of acetic acid would have occurred. Okay, so at half neutralization the concentration of salt and acid would be same. Okay, and at half neutralization you can also call it as half equivalence point. Okay, but because at equivalence point complete neutralization occurs, so at half of the equivalence point neutralization would be half. So you need to determine the half of the equivalence point value. So over here from the table, equivalence point has been obtained at 6 ml. So you have to first of all find out V by 2. V is 6 ml where the complete neutralization occurs and which is an equivalence point. So you have to find out half of the neutralization value, okay, the amount of the NaOH which is being added at half of the neutralization, okay, which would be equal to half of the equivalence point. So 6 divided by 2 will give you 3 ml. Locate 3 ml in this graph, okay, that would be V by 2, that is 6 by 2, okay. Draw a straight line, okay, wherever it interacts with this sigmoidal shaped curve. From there again draw a straight line. So whatever the pH value you get over here, that would be equal to pKa value, okay, because we know that at half of the equivalence point pH would be equal to pK, because only half of the neutralization would occur and the concentration of the salt and acid would be same in the solution. Okay, now suppose say the value which you have obtained over here of pKa is 4.1. okay, using this, suppose say you have used these values in order to draw a graph, and if you have obtained 4.1 as pKa, then let us see that how the further calculation is being done. Now this Ka and pKa value can be interconverted into each other. You can easily get Ka value from pKa value. Now Ka equals to NT log minus pH or minus pKa values. So you have to put down over here the pH value, or you can say pKa value, which you have obtained from here. That is your graph, because that is 4.1. So K would be equal to NT log minus 4.1, and it will give you 7.91 into 10 raised to minus 5. So Ka is the dissociation constant, and that is 7.91 into 10 raised to minus 5. Over here the standard value at 25 degrees Celsius is 1.75 into 10 raised to minus 5. So both of these values are in 10 raised to minus 5. Okay, so the value is quite nearer to the standard value which you have obtained at 25 degrees Celsius. And as I told you that dissociation constant value would change with the change in the temperature. So there could be a possibility of slight change in the value, right? But since you are getting it in 10 raised to minus 5, so the value is very nearer to the accurate value which you can get at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now, so in this way, you can easily determine the dissociation constant values. Okay. And over and above this, you can even calculate the concentration of acetic acid in gram per liter or gram per 250 ml. Okay, so for that 1000 ml 1 normal NaOH equals to 60 gram acetic acid. 6 ml, why 6 ml? Because 6 ml of the NaOH is required to completely neutralize the acetic acid. So 6 ml 0.1 normal NaOH equals to how much gram acetic acid. So through the calculation you can get 0.03 gram per 50 ml. Why gram per 50 ml? Because initially you have taken 50 ml of the acetic acid in the beaker, right? Then you can convert it into gram per 250 ml. You can even convert it into gram per liter. Okay, so in this way you can find out the amount of acetic acid in gram per liter or gram per 250 ml. Even you can find out the normality of the acetic acid solution which is being given to you, which is unknown, right? So for that N1V1 equals to N2V2 formula is being used, and easily you can find out the normality of the acetic acid which is being given. So in this way you can easily find out the dissociation constant value of a weak acid. Okay, even with the help of the same practical, in the same manner you can even find out the dissociation constant value of monochloroacetic acid, which is again a weak acid. Thank you.